Big injury for the Twins today. All right, let's get to Bryan Hoeing, who kind of burst on the scene with his performance in Tuesday's rain-delayed game in Pittsburgh. We got to see him pitch. Now let's get to know him on today's interview on Friar Friday. And it is our Friar Friday interview, and this week we visit with new Padres right-hander Bryan Hoeing. Joins us here from Miami, where he was traded from to the Padres along with Tanner Scott about 10 days ago. So my first question, Bryan, is how has the last 10 days been for you? What kind of whirlwind has it been for you?
It's definitely been a whirlwind, but it's been a good whirlwind. For me, I didn't really expect to get traded. I'm thankful that I did come into an organization like the Padres, first-class organization that prides himself on winning and has a really good culture. So just kind of seeing a different, side of, a team. The guys have been great, welcoming me with open arms. Everybody's been friendly and super helpful. And it's kind of ironic that, 10 days later, me and Tanner and even Louis Arise are back in Miami where we all met each other. So it definitely came full circle this weekend.
Yes, it did. We're talking to Bryan Hoeing, a Padres relief pitcher here on 97.3 The Fan. And here in San Diego, Bryan, we sometimes call your pitching coach, Ruben Niebla, the pitching whisperer. So I just want to know, what was it like to work with him for the first time, or what's it like to work with him currently?
Yeah, he's been great so far. Super helpful already. I know I've only been here 10 days, but we've talked a little bit about, some of my pitch usages and, things that they, hope that they could see change in my arsenal, which I think has been, beneficial for me out there in my performance-wise. But he also just brings really good energy. He's able to listen. It's not just a one-way street. He wants to hear what we have to say too about his thoughts, and I think that's how you grow as a pitcher and as a pitching coach as well. But definitely helping me with my arsenal and usage percentage with certain pitches.
Bryan Hoeing kind of arrived on the scene as far as the Padres are concerned in that rainout game the other night in Pittsburgh, and ended up pitching almost 4 innings there and helping the Padres to a great win with a beautiful effort. The whole bullpen, 8 shutout innings.
Yeah.
But how did that come about? It started to rain. I'm sure Cease didn't immediately ask out of that game. In fact, if I know Dylan, he probably really didn't ever want out of that game. So how did that finally go that, when you got the word and they said, hey, we're going to put you go as far as you can go?
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Cease's mindset was, I'm going back out there. They're legit going to have to drag this ball out of my hand. That's basically what happened. It was a 2.5, I think it might have been a 2.5 hour delay or somewhere in there. That's just not worth throwing, Dylan Cease, one of the best starters in the league, back out there for risk of injury. And I've kind of been in that situation before. I've been a hybrid pitcher my whole career. So in a situation like that, my mind, started clicking a little bit. I said, hey, I'm telling myself, this is probably going to be me. So just, stay locked in. At no point did I think the game was ever going to get canceled. I was telling myself, we're going to play this game. We're going to play this game. So I could just stay mentally focused. And yeah, the Ruben and Fritz both did a really good job of just communicating with me and saying, hey, look, if this goes past a certain time, we're going to go with you. So the whole rain delay, I was focused and ready to go. But yeah, that game was crazy just with the rain delay and then the bullpen really stepping up in a huge way. I think we had a shutout that game as well.
Yeah.
But the cool part about the bullpen is that everybody is really good stuff. Really good competitors. And I think we really just passed the baton from one person to another and just kind of I got your back, you got my back, and let's do this thing.
We're talking to Bryan Hoeing here, Padres relief pitcher on 97.3 The Fan. And how comfortable, Bryan, I think you went 3 2/3 that night. How comfortable are you going deep into games? Is there a pitch limit, or are you just kind of going until you feel like it's time to, He's
a hybrid, Skraby.
I know.
He can go on gasoline or electricity.
Oh, there we go. I like
Doesn't
that,
matter
Chris.
to him.
Thank you.
You kind of have to be a little bit careful. For my health, you have to be careful. You can't just throw me out there for 5-6 innings when I'm not built up, which currently I'm not really built up for that much. But I was built up for 50 pitches or so. I threw 3 innings in Milwaukee about 2 weeks ago. That was around 50 pitches. So, in a situation like that with a rain delay where we really just need to fill up some innings there, I am a guy that can just I like to think, knock on wood, but I like to work efficiently, just get early contact ground balls and just get in and out of at bats. But yeah, I mean, knock on wood too, my health is very important. I've been able to stay healthy most of my career. So, but yeah, I'm able to go multiple and one inning at a time, just kind of whatever the team needs.
Bryan is a Louisville Cardinal, for those who are wondering. And just a little background for those who don't know. You were drafted, I think, out of high school in something like the 35th or 6th round, then drafted again after your junior season, but still in the 32nd round. And then after your senior year, you got all the way up to the 7th round and signed with the Marlins. Here's my question. What was the biggest thing that happened between the 32nd round and the 7th round? Did you change, or did their opinion of you change?
Yeah, it's funny. My senior year, I had 2 major surgeries. It's funny, I was just talking about how I've stayed healthy in my career, but I actually did have 2 major surgeries my senior year. I had an ACL and UCL surgery, so that kind of hurt my draft stock my senior year, and it was more so, I think, of a courtesy pick out of high school. I mean, I think it was by the D-backs. They were just kind of like, hey, we like you. We know you probably won't sign, but just in case we can work something out, here's an opportunity. And at that point, coming off 2 major surgeries, like, I think betterment for my career, I should go to Louisville here and get healthy and pitch against some good competition in college. And then, I got drafted by the Giants, I believe, in 18, and that came down to just the money amount. We didn't really agree on what the money was going to be, so I went back for my last year at Louisville and had a pretty good year. Honestly, it timed out really well. I kind of, bet on myself a little bit, had a solid year. We went to the World Series as well, which was really cool. But yeah, going from the 30-something round to the 7th round, I'd say it paid off.
Yeah, it definitely paid off.
Good move.
Bryan, what's it like going from a team without playoff aspirations and going to a team just a couple games back of first place in the division?
It's definitely different. In the flip of a switch, you're going from last place in your division to, fighting for, the division title and even the wild card spot. So, something to play for. The energy is phenomenal. The guys bring the energy every single day. We know what's at stake here. We want to get to the postseason. Every single baseball player, I think, in the MLB want to get to the postseason. So, I'm fortunate enough. I would say Tanner would say the same thing to. Thankful to get put in this opportunity where we are, kind of control our own destiny here as long as we play well throughout the stretch. Hopefully we're playing some October baseball. But yeah, I think that's all we all want to do is pitch in a postseason game with really atmosphere in front of the Padres fans.
Yeah, we got some pretty good fans out here, and I'm sure you're probably already realizing that in a short time. Bryan Hoeing is one of the newest Padres. We're going to let you roll here. Just wanted to come full circle. We talked about it being kind of a whirlwind 10 days. Like, how much of San Diego do you even get to see in the short time you've been here? And are you still trying to move in someplace? Has somebody put you up in town? Do you need to rent my garage or what's the situation?
Well, hey, I might take you up on that.
Okay.
No, the staff, TJ, the travel coordinator here, did a phenomenal job of making the whole process very smooth for me. They put me in a hotel, the Omni, right across the stadium.
Wow,
so I was able to just walk, 30 seconds over to the ballpark, which is a very nice commute to work.
Yeah.
But when I get back, we worked out, a deal with one of the apartments nearby. So I will be in an apartment, but I haven't really gotten to experience San Diego that much. I know that, it offers some really good food and some really nice people and really good weather. So I'm hoping here in the next 2 months or so I can kind of find some time to really enjoy it and get to know San Diego really well. Because I feel like it has some really cool things to offer.
Yeah, well, you've got a lot to offer this Padre club, and already we've seen it. We appreciate your time and wish you a very successful last month and a half here. And I think we will see everybody in October baseball. So, Bryan, welcome to San Diego, and thanks for being on our show today.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Hi, there goes Bryan Hoeing. I hope you enjoyed meeting him, by the way. If he took me up on the offer, my wife has so much stuff in the garage, I think he'd find it rather uncomfortable.
I was going to say, does Kylie sleep in the garage?
The dog?
The dog? Yeah.
Kylie the dog. Let me put it this way, Skraby, and I think you know the answer to this.
Yes.
I'm more likely to sleep in the garage than Kylie the dog is.
Kylie has the most expensive bed in the house.
Yes, Kylie's not going in the garage. If there's any question, I'm going in the garage.
Bryan Hoeing may have needed a like an emotional support dog by being in the garage, so it would work out.
Kylie wouldn't provide that. You know our dog.
By the way,
she's a little spoiled. She's not in the mood to be a support dog for anybody.
Okay, so I saw this in the airport, and we have about 10 minutes.
Okay, we have time.
I saw this in the airport, and it floored me. But someone was in there with a golden retriever, taking the golden retriever on the plane.
Yeah.
Where does a golden retriever sit on the plane?
Emotional support dog.
But the golden retriever is huge. Like, that would be like me bringing Lucky on the plane.
I think
like,
you almost
where's
have
he
to buy another
fit?
ticket, I
you
guess.
do. You have to buy two, but...
Well, there you go.
Is Lucky just going to sit there with the seatbelt on the entire time?
No
like, why do you
seatbelt.
need a...
No seatbelt. Lucky doesn't need a seatbelt.
But do you think it's kind of crazy that a golden retriever's on a plane? I don't know how else to do it.
Look, you know how we are on this show, I think, in general.
We're just
we're
dog lovers.
We're dog lovers. We're also people lovers. We also understand that people have needs that maybe you and I don't have.
True.
So
people have allergies that you and I don't have.
So I get the fact that there are some people that need a dog to be with them as a support animal.
I have no issues with that.
But what you're saying
a golden retriever,
you're saying get a little more
a massive dog,
airplane friendly.
I would drive.
Companion.
I would drive before I took Lucky on a plane. There's zero chance I would take my 80-pound husky golden
Alaska
retriever
or something.
mix.
I
don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I cannot imagine myself trying to corral Lucky for 4 hours on a plane.
All right. Well, you thought that was ridiculous. I think this is ridiculous. Jim Harbaugh, the current coach of your Los Angeles Chargers of Anaheim. Jim Harbaugh will be back at Michigan Stadium this year for the Wolverines season opener. The former Michigan coach who led the Wolverines to the national championship last year has accepted an invitation to be the team's honorary captain on August 31st, game against Fresno State. Here's why I think this is a little ridiculous.
Why?
Earlier this week, the NCAA announced a 4-year penalty for Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah, that.
For impermissible contact with recruits and players while he was cheating his way to a national title. Harbaugh, of course.
Can you stop with the cheating? Because everybody has recruitment violations.
Everybody cheats. I think you're right. The point that